Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Universal Show, a Diz Unlimited podcast. I am Ryno, and joining me this week, I have Chloe and Julie, and we are going to be dining at none other than Toothsome, the Chocolate Emporium. I tried to look back on the channel to find out the last time that we reviewed it, and if I was correct, it hasn't been since 2019, and I haven't been in a little while. It's been a couple of years, for sure, at least a year or something like that. So I'm curious to see how it holds up with expectation versus reality. Also, I've learned that Julie has never been here before, and Chloe's been asking to go here, so it seemed like the perfect time to do one of these. You know why else it's also the perfect time? Because right now, if you book a Universal vacation for travel starting, I think it's like November 4th into April of 2025, you can get up to $1,000 in a dining credit that you can use around the park, which is a great deal, honestly, right now, especially if you get yourself booked into one of the hotels here that offer Express Pass on top of that. Honey, that is a deal on a deal, okay? So if you want to learn more about that, you can head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com for a free, no obligation quote, and they will get you started on the perfect Universal vacation. I also just want to do a little shout out to our Patreon supporters out there. Hello. We could not do this without you. I just hope that you know that. I'm going to keep telling you that till the end of time. If you want to learn more about how you can get exclusive content from different members of the Diz team, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited and learn all about the different tiers and offerings over there. So I am pretty hungry. As I'm out here talking about Toothsome, I'm realizing I didn't eat breakfast. Whoops, I got started in a weird way this morning. So without delaying this any further, I think let's just head over, get inside, and see if this baby holds up to my expectation.
Hey guys, we are at the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium. It's my first time. We are now seated upstairs at our table, and we have ordered some drinks and appetizers. But first I'm gonna talk to you about my drink, which is a mocktail. So I ordered Just Golden. It is a peach puree with a lemon lime soda. Now it has a yellow sugared rim and it is delicious. There's no alcohol, hence the mocktail. It is very good. It is quite sweet. So if you're not into something sweet, I would maybe choose something else from the menu, but it is delicious. I've already drank half. It's very refreshing for a hot day. And I think I'm going to turn it over to Ryno so he can talk about his drink.
Like Julie said, we are seated inside here. It is a little warm inside today. I don't know what is going on with the air conditioning, but I am feeling it. It's a little balmy, I believe is the word we'd use here. Julie's drink, I had a sip of it. It was refreshing and nice. I think maybe if they had made it, it feels like maybe it was made with a Sprite or an off-brand Sprite. Maybe if they'd made it with like a bubbly that was like a lemon lime or something like that, I think I'd enjoy it even more. She actually made the comment to me off camera that she could see this would actually make a great alcoholic drink if they dropped some like vodka or rum inside of it, and I completely agree with that. It was very, very nice, very refreshing. As far as myself, I went with, excuse me while I get all these my paperwork in order. I went with the old chocolate fashion. That is Bird Dog chocolate whiskey, cherry hearing liqueur, sugar, chocolate, and orange bitters. This was $16.25. I have had this drink before, but I haven't been here in, I don't know. I think I haven't been here in like well over a year. I know that we haven't done a review here in some time, but I sometimes like to come here because you can sit up, there's a bar upstairs, sometimes you can come and sit at. I do feel like some of their mixed drinks are definitely on the more unique side, especially here at the Universal Orlando Resort. So I enjoy that. This, I feel like they do a bunch of different varieties of old fashions, but this one is, I don't know, I felt like it fit the theme a little bit better. So, $16.25. I mean, this is definitely on the cheaper side of the drinks. I think the cheapest drink on this menu is $15.50. It was this, or there is a chocolate. There's a chocolate beer that you have to ask for a drink menu for. That's the 2 chocolate stout, and that's $11.50. And I debated, but a stout to start the meal seems like a crazy idea. So I went with this. Would I get it again? Yes, because I've had it before. I've had it again. I do feel like it was definitely heavier on the chocolate this time, which is fine. We're here at the Chocolate Emporium. That's what you want, right, baby? Also, I don't know if Julie said it or not, or maybe I said it. Julie's drink was $11. It was the cheapest of the 3 mocktails. The other 2 were $12. One of them has Pop Rocks in it. Chloe, what did you get?
I ordered between so many different cocktail offerings. I had a hard time. I was like between 3 or 4 different beverages, but I finally decided on the macadamia chocolate cherry, which is $17, double chocolate vodka, drambuie 15, macadamia nut liqueur, and it has some cherries as well to make it the cherry. I'm in love with this drink. It's very strong, but the tastes are so nice. I just love nutty flavors in beverages, and this has a really nice macadamia nut flavoring. There's white chocolate shavings on top too, which are really smooth and kind of melt in your mouth as you take a sip. I would absolutely get this again. I love it.
We also got a couple appetizers. Because this is Julie's first time here, I felt like the warm chocolate almond bread is one of their signature items because it's chocolate bread. It is described as a fresh chocolate almond bread, salted caramel butter, $6.95. We got that, and then we also decided, I felt like Brussels sprouts was in the vibe we were having today, and those, so on the menu here, there are roasted Brussels sprouts, which are described as charred Brussels sprouts, jalapeno mayo, cotija cheese, ancho chili powder. These were $10.95. I feel like, talking about the chocolate almond bread, for me, I haven't had this in, I don't know, forever, years and years and years. It was the last time I was here with Craig, maybe. Before that, it might have been the opening of the restaurant. I felt like it was a good bread. It was nice, it was soft, it was warm. It definitely was giving me chocolate muffin vibes, but like on the less sweeter side. But when you added on that salted caramel butter, it definitely sweetened it up a little bit. It strikes me, it's weird because mentally I'm like, this is dessert, but it's also the appetizer. But I feel like it's fun. It's a fun gimmick that's definitely a part of the restaurant, and I feel like for $6.95, it wasn't bad. I feel like we each kind of got 2 pieces of it, which was pretty good. For the roasted Brussels sprouts, I definitely, with jalapeno mayo and an ancho chili powder involved in these, I definitely thought they were going to be on the hotter side. I thought they were good. I did enjoy them quite a bit. I felt like there could be a little bit more Brussels sprouts in them. But ultimately, I guess if the question came down to saying, like, would you get this again? Yes, Mama, I would get it again.
We have some thoughts too.
We do, on the appetizers.
Yeah. Brussels sprouts could have been bigger. I feel like it should have been double the size for $10.95.
I've been here in the past, and I'm racking my brain trying to remember exactly how they were presented last time. I'm pretty sure they were in a bowl, and I'm almost positive there was more in the serving.
They were definitely beautiful, and they could have been crispier because the description says crispy. They're nicely cooked and they're nice and soft, but they're not crispy. I would not.
They're also not very
them.
Spicy.
No.
Between the chili powder and the spicy mayo, the spicy jalapeno mayo, I wasn't getting any spice.
Don't make the mistake that I did and actually try to incorporate the powder, because then
like
all I did was
plate.
taste the powder.
Yeah.
But they were very good. We would get them again.
I would get them again, yeah, regardless of the high cost for
What about
low
chocolate
portion.
bread?
The chocolate bread was really good.
Yeah.
Something about it tasted familiar. I don't know if I had a chocolate bread as a kid, but there's some specific flavor in it that is,
Little Debbie brownies maybe is all I could think about.
Oh, you know what it is? Chocolate. I used to have chocolate bagels as a kid.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure it's chocolate bagels, because it is truly a chocolate bread without the butter, and you just try the bread by itself. It tastes
I
like
did try the bread all by itself without the butter, and I also tried the butter alone because I wanted to see what it really tasted like. Okay, as a child who was fed butter, I did enjoy the butter very much, and the bread, but the bread and butter together are the best. I did not enjoy the bread as much by itself. It needs the butter, in my opinion.
For sure. It has a little bit of saltiness to the sweetness too, and it's just the warm bread with the cool butter, and
it's almost like a
nice
deconstructed chocolate sheet cake. Your butter's not in the cake, it's on the side.
Yeah.
You gotta spread it on. For my entree, I had the braised short rib. So it comes with aged cheddar grits, roasted carrots, a natural jus, and a cocoa gremolata. Am I saying that correctly, Ryno?
Who knows?
And it was $31.95. It's not the most expensive item on the menu, but it is pricey, and in my opinion, should not be $31.95 for the size of the dish. I did enjoy it. It was not the best short rib I've ever had. The grits were already hard, firm. I feel like they sat on the plate for a while before they put the carrots and the jus and the gremolata and the actual short rib on the plate. The short rib itself was just a little bit dry. I'm used to it being a little more moist. Sorry, Ryno. Carrots I thought were seasoned really well and nice and tender. The grits were cheddar grits. I believe they could have been a little more flavorful. I am a Southerner, so they needed a little more salt in my opinion. I would not order this again if I were to. The price is too high for the size of the dish and for the quality of the dish. This is not a place to get short rib. That would be my personal opinion. I know you guys did sample it as well, but I wish I had ordered maybe a sandwich or a burger or a salad, but maybe next time. We'll see.
For my entree, I wanted to try the all-day brunch menu that I just recently learned is a thing here. In the past, I've resorted to the flatbreads or some of the appetizers as my choosing, but today I tried the broccoli cheddar quiche, which is $14.95. It's English Colby cheddar, fresh broccoli, a choice of side salad or soup. Since the only soup option is the French onion, I opted for a Caesar salad, riveting. My quiche was pretty good. I'm not a big Panera Bread fan, but if I have to go, I do love their broccoli cheddar soup, and this tasted like that inside a really well-baked quiche. The crust was really buttery and flaky. I loved that part of it. My one disappointment with it was the scoop of white gravy that was on top. It was not in the menu, and by the time it got to me, it was kind of congealed a bit. It also didn't taste very good. It kind of tasted sour, and there wasn't much flavor to it. So I kind of scraped that off because the part of my quiche that didn't have that was nicely baked on the top and crisp, and the gravy kind of ruined that on my second half. So that was kind of a bummer. The salad was a basic Caesar salad. It was pretty fresh for a theme park salad, but I might opt for maybe trying a different one next time because it was a little boring for me. I would get the quiche again, but also the menu is very overwhelming and I want to try like 10 other things. So I'll be coming back for sure.
So like Chloe was saying, there is a brunch section. There's the flatbreads, there's salads, there's the appetizers, there's sandwiches and burgers, pasta and entrees, cocktails and mocktails. And I feel like to complete the almost ordering from almost every section of every menu, I went with the sandwiches and burgers section. I was leaning toward, get this, it sounds insane, a tuna melt. The tuna melt Madame, okay? Because I liked what it sounded like. It was a challah bread tuna sandwich. Anyway, you don't need to know because I didn't get it. Maybe for another video. But I ended up leaning toward the Tour de France. And that is a half-pound house-made patty, bib lettuce, roasted tomatoes, sunny side up egg, avocado, crispy onions, French brie on a toasted brioche bun for $19.95. And it came with, you could do a side of fries or kettle chips, and the table said fries. I said, okay, fries it is. And then our server said, well, you can make them truffle fries if you want. And I said, oh boy, yeah, we're doing that. So truffle fries they were, and they were good. My only complaint about the truffle fries, I thought they could have used just like a little pinch of salt. But honestly, I'd rather things be unsalted than over salted. That's just how I am. I didn't grow up having a lot of salt on food. My grandmother was paranoid about blood pressure, and here I am with the highest blood pressure ever. But in terms of the burgers, see, I don't really order burgers a lot these days, but I was pleasantly surprised. I ordered it medium well, and I felt like it was cooked like that. It had like a little bit of a char on the bottom that actually I really enjoyed. I thought it added some really nice like flavor and texture to the burger. I thought all the ingredients were really fresh, the lettuce, the tomatoes. That sunny side egg was like literally something out of a Denny's commercial. That's how it looked, like it had barely touched the heat, and I was a little worried, but at the same time it was like runny, it was good. It added a lot of, I don't know how to describe that sort of a flavor that comes from an egg yolk, but it was in the burger, egg, it added egg. I thought it was really good, and I would definitely recommend this and get it again. I thought it was worth the price of its money. I know that when we get to what we talked about for dessert and the wrap up and everything, the ladies will mention any of the other food that they didn't, but while the camera's on me, I'm just going to bring that up, is that I tried a little bit of Julie's braised short rib, and I thought the short rib itself was cooked fine, but it was like, There wasn't a lot of flavor to it, and I agree with everything she said. I'm not an expert on grits or anything like that, but hers, I think, was definitely not the winner. And Chloe was not kidding about that white gravy that was on hers, because that was straight up nasty. The quiche, delicious. The quiche was actually really, really good. I thought it had like a nice thicker crust on there that I'm used to with the quiche, and I thought it was good texture-wise and consistency. I would definitely consider trying one of those again next time. No gravy. Ask for no gravy on that. But we are gonna order some dessert as well. And you know what? I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna tell you what we got, because she's holding the camera, and I'm gonna tell you what we got. They are known for their myriad of milkshakes here. Quite a bit of milkshakes. You know, a lot of different options. You're basically getting slices of cake in these things. There's even a little option here called Jacques Specialty Flight, where you can choose 5 flavors. This thing's $50, honey. That's a lot. But it has stuff like brownie, cookie jar, marshmallow crisp. That's mint, Thrilla and vanilla, red velvet, espresso buzz, heavenly hazelnut, and chocolate X5. That's a lot. That's a lot. We went with something I haven't had here before, which is a sundae, a dessert sundae. So there was one that caught all of our eyes right away called May Contain Nuts. It's peanut butter ice cream, peanut brittle, Reese's peanut butter cups, chocolate peanut butter pie, whipped topping, peanut butter sauce topped with Reese's Pieces. This was $15, and I need to tell you right now, this was like incredible. There was a part of me where I was almost like, I don't know, should we do dessert? But I like to have when we do the sit-down dining, be like a really complete experience, having the appetizers, the cocktails, everything, just so you can get a little bit of a taste of everything and you can make a better informed decision when you come here. I need you to know, as a peanut butter fiend, if you know me, you know I love anything peanut butter flavored. This was such a great decision to get this. It was so good. This was easily shareable with more than 3 people, I think. So I definitely think the price you're paying for what you're getting was great. The peanut butter pie that was in this thing, hello, I'd eat a whole one of those. Give me more than just that slice. But the ice cream that was in there was so good. And Chloe asked the server where it came from, and apparently it's made locally. Malto, M-O-L-T-O, exclamation point. And I would say exclamation point for sure, because this is one of the best ice creams I've had like in a long time. One of the best peanut butter ice creams I've ever had. Fantastic. Highly recommend this. Ladies, what'd you think of the ice cream?
Before we jump into the heaven that was that peanut butter dessert, I just wanted to comment on your guys' dishes that we had, because we tried a little bit of everything that we ordered. Your dish, sadly, was the loser of the day.
It was a very sad short rib, and I love short rib. Like, it's what I order. If it's on the menu at a restaurant, it's what I'm gonna have, and it was a very disappointing short rib.
Yeah, and I love cheese grits too, and that was like...
Yes, me too.
There was a big pile of it underneath.
I would have enjoyed instant cheddar grits over those.
Yeah, Quaker.
More flavored.
Quaker. And then, I didn't care for her dish, but Ryno's burger though. Ryno's burger was really, really good. And I guess I'm discovering that I'm slowly becoming a burger person, because I've actually not eaten a lot of beef in the last couple of years. But every time Ryno gets a burger, I usually get Impossible. Every time Ryno gets a burger, I'm like, wait, am I liking burgers again? This one had a really nice char-grilled flavor. All the toppings, the egg, avocado, the brie cheese, and then the brioche bun. I would absolutely get that again. And I love the truffle fries. No salt was even better for me, because it brought out the flavoring more of the truffle, because I'm just a picky salt person.
Although, like he said, you could add more salt if you wish.
Absolutely.
It's not on the table, but I'm sure
better
we could
than having to
for
scrape it off. You know?
They were not crispy enough for me, some of the ones I had, and I like a crispy fry.
Yeah.
They need to be crispy. If they're soft, I'm going to skip over them. I did like the burger too. I am the picky person at the table, so I do not eat egg, especially not a sunny one that looked so
jiggly.
runny and jiggly. But the burger was excellent. I had a little bit of tomato and avocado with it. Who doesn't like brioche? I mean, come on. And then Chloe's, I also agree, was very good. I would put the burger above yours, only because I do love burgers.
And the gravy.
Oh God, that gravy. I mean, there was not an ounce of salt or pepper. I feel like it was just flour and water and like just plopped on there.
The biggest thing is it wasn't on the menu. No. I had no idea that was even a possibility to be on it.
Be certain to ask for no gravy, or if you want to try that gravy, on the side.
Now let's talk about dessert, because that completely flipped over. For real.
So good.
It's peanut butter soup right now, but the
we
pie.
did a pretty good job.
The peanut butter pie in this, oh my God. And even the peanut brittle, there's some good textures and flavors in that. It's mostly peanut butter, so if you're a peanut butter lover, do not pass this up.
No.
This was one of the best things I've ever had at this restaurant. It was so delicious.
Love dessert. I usually am the only person who eats dessert in my family, or maybe the kids might try, but perfect for 4 people, I believe. Even 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not really big on dessert or you don't like to eat a lot of dessert. Brittle is just, I'm not a big fan because it's so chewy. Like we said, it gets in your cavities or your fillings. Or Reese's Pieces. I know you like to call it that. But I love Reese's peanut butter cups. The pie actually tasted like a mousse to me. It was so light, so fluffy, and just like creamy, dreamy. And then the crust underneath, which we didn't discover until later, after we'd almost eaten the whole dish. But with the ice cream, like all the flavors together were just so good.
And the ice cream was, when you get an ice cream dessert like this, when ice cream is the base, you need that foundation to be solid. And this ice cream tasted so good. That's why I asked where it was from, because it was so creamy and the flavor was there. It tasted like Ryno's first bite. He was like, this tastes like Friendly's in all the best ways. Like it was just like this comforting peanut butter flavor, and it was really delicious.
Yeah.
Very happy with it.
You could actually put a straw in there and sip it up.
Let's do it.
Okay, since we are in a sit-down restaurant, we're going to do it the same way that we do our Disney dining show. And for those of you that may or may not be familiar, we have a little bit of a rating system that involves ambiance, food prep and presentation, quality of taste, service, and cost. And then when there are characters, we have character interaction thrown in there as well. So for me, for ambiance, I have it about an 8. I feel like I was teetering between like a 7 and an 8. I think I put it up to an 8 only because I feel like when I get to the character part, that really pushed it up a little bit. I feel like for what this restaurant is, being this sort of like steampunk chocolate factory, like kind of, I use this word a lot, an unhinged theme to it a little bit, because it's like Professor, Mrs. Penelope, I can't remember the whole thing, but I feel like it succeeds on this really interesting premise that it has. And honestly, there are a lot of parts of this restaurant that do feel a little more elegant. Like there is an upstairs bar up here that is pretty nice. And I feel like there is a good selection of higher end like liquors, and you know what, the variety of drinks here are some of the most interesting drinks that you're going to find on Universal property, on theme park property, period. I'm going to say that. So I feel like it's got a lot going for it. I can always hear the music. It's at the right volume for me too, where it does lend itself to something. You know, there are the digital windows here, which I do like that they show like the factory in motion. I kind of wish they'd taken the route of like the old Funimation, or like I grew up on Eatable Railroad, which is a amusement park in Massachusetts. And at Christmas we would have these like giant box things, and there would be different like vignettes of scenes. So one's like Santa in the bathtub, and he's like, I don't know why that's the one I picked to talk about, but I am. And the elves would be there like ready with the towel, and you're like, oh my God, these poor elves. But like those sort of things, like I think it would have been fun to see like a sort of claymation style almost like window or something like that. I think that would have really put it on the next level for me. But again, that requires moving parts and more involved, and I get it. But anyway, it's an 8. I'm talking too much about this ambiance. Bless you, Chloe. She shook violently when she sneezed, so there wasn't an earthquake while we're watching this. It's just Chloe violently shaking. For food prep and presentation, I feel like I give it an 8. I feel like everything, even the stuff that maybe we weren't as into, looked really well plated and stuff. It wasn't like groundbreaking by any means, but I do think my burger came out like real pretty looking, like with the bun on the side and everything in it. So I definitely like, I give it an 8. Quality of taste, I also give an 8. I really, honest to God, feel like everything I had today was really good, minus Julie's thing, and minus Chloe's gross gravy on there. But those are the dings for that. But everything else, honestly, solid. Like, and I think Chloe said it in hers as well, where there's other items that I want to try. Like, and after having these, like, I'm excited to try those. So that's good for me. Service, I'm going to give it a 9. I thought our server Carla was really good. Very attentive. You know, everything was paced very nicely. I know that sometimes we take a longer amount of time, but she was always there when we needed her, and I appreciate that. Cost, I'm going to give it like a 7. I feel like it is definitely not on the inexpensive side. I mean, for the total for all of us, I think with a tip plus a little bit of a discount, was $167.93 for 3 people. I mean, we got drinks, we did get dessert and appetizers, so it was more than you'll probably like average spend on lunch, but it was still like, it was a little pricey. And it was kind of like I thought the dessert, I thought for 15 bucks, that was well worth it. But Julie said it in her thing, I thought her meal was kind of overpriced. I think the burger was maybe definitely, it was a lot involved, but I definitely think it could have been like $17 instead of, $20 that it almost was and stuff. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap. So 7, character interaction, that's getting a 10. We had a wonderful character interaction with Penelope and Jacques, and I could hear Jacques clearer than I have ever been able to hear him in the past. It always stresses me out because he used to be so quiet, and I'd be like, what? What? And this time he was loud. They were funny. Her accent was fantastic.
Hi everyone, welcome in.
My goodness, I feel like a celeb.
Stop it.
You were making us look way cooler than
We were just talking about you.
Dr. Penelope. Well, hold on, wait.
Oh, we're gonna okay, I see.
re-enter.
Now announcing Professor Dr. Penelope Thabot Tinker Toothsome. The crowd goes mild.
Oh my God.
I love that no one clapped, but I came out and just started clapping.
Hey, you got to be your own hype person. Yeah.
You were just adorable.
How are you all doing?
Very good. This is my friend's first time here, and I was saying, because we were looking in the shop earlier, and I was like, Penelope, that's the owner of the establishment, and they said, and there's a robot, Jacques, and here you are.
I know,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've met before. Right?
Yeah.
We met a couple times.
Yeah.
You look very familiar. I just don't remember this shirt last time.
Well, I like to change my clothes sometimes, so
We had the
yeah.
same thing for you. Makes us recognizable.
Yeah.
Except for the one time I accidentally got into your closet, I do not look as good in a corset, let me tell you. I stretched it out, you're too
You
kind.
look great.
Welcome in, what's your name?
Yeah, I'm Julie.
Julie, welcome into the Emporium, where are you from?
Oh, just Lake Mary.
Okay. And it's your first time?
Yeah.
What took you so long?
I don't know.
Well, hopefully it's the first trip of
I
many.
was just waiting for someone to invite me.
Yeah.
So sweet.
I'm so glad that you finally invited me.
Yeah. Oh my God. We're so happy you showed up. You're here. Yeah. We know you're busy, so
I mean, we are really. This is what
We
it's
literally
like.
live in the back, so we're here all the time. So.
And we're time travelers, so it always works. So have you been here? Have you had our new Dia de los Muertos milkshake?
No, but we haven't had dessert yet,
Yeah, we
so
might,
that
yeah.
could be on the.
Well,
Okay.
food for thought, maybe food for your tummy.
Let me talk about it. I'm so
Okay, yeah,
excited. Okay, so it is made with a chocolate chili. So when you first drink it, it's very full of chocolate, your classic chocolate, and then it comes up like a magic extra bite at the end. It's like a spicy.
Gives you that like spice from a ginger snap or something.
Ooh,
It's got
okay.
orange whipped cream around the rim and a chocolate.
Oh, we saw it in the window downstairs, I think. Yeah, because I was like, oh, this looked like your Halloween costume from a couple years ago. Yeah. It was
It was like a Bride of the Dead.
Oh, I bet
The
that
Day
was
of the Dead
lovely.
Bride.
I love that.
She looked wonderful.
Very
Yeah.
You did look wonderful.
I love to dress up for Halloween.
Do you?
Yeah.
So do you really like the spooky season then?
Oh yeah. Look,
Oh,
look,
well,
I got
of course,
the.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I tell you what I'm thinking for next year for Toothsome?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean for Toothsome?
I'm thinking of turning Toothsome into a haunted house.
Oh.
Okay, can I run my idea past you?
Yes,
Because
please.
it might be too scary, and I want to.
no.
You're not squeamish.
Yeah.
No.
No. God no. Yeah. If she
ready?
faints, I'll carry her out. Okay.
You can just cover your ears. You walk into the Emporium. All is as it seems, except there's no chocolate. Dun, dun, dun. Is that too scary?
Are you good?
No, you okay? Oh yeah, I can't even breathe there for a moment. There. You're clutching your chest. I'm sorry.
And you're also carrying a hammer. I mean,
Yeah, the other day, someone had a flatbread, and I was like, "Can you make it flatter?" And I said, "Sure, I can do that." And then my elbow creaked a little bit, and it went, "Reek, reek, reek, reek." That was very scary, not so good. People got the wrong idea. It's that time of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're really glad that you summoned us here.
Oh, no, yeah. This is,
Absolutely. Lovely seeing you.
Yes.
You
You too.
Yes, nice meeting you for the first time.
Yeah.
Enjoy whatever sweets you get. I'm sure you'll love them.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by.
Seeing you.
They were just, they made the meal. Honestly, they were fantastic. So if you've been keeping up and the math holds correct, I don't know that it does. I apologize to all my math teachers out there. I think that puts me at a 50 out of 60, which is an 8.3 out of 10, which is a 4.15 out of 5. Would I come here again? 100%. Definitely would come and would recommend it. And I hope this video actually helps you with some of the choices, because I think we'd had some solid choices. Now, Julie, this is your first time doing this. How are you going to rate everything?
So it is my first time doing an official dining review. It was very nice to be invited, very nice to be included with Ryan and Chloe. I enjoyed the conversation, I enjoyed the meal. If I could rate it just on being with these guys, it's a 12 out of 10.
Oh.
So I'm going to start with ambiance like Ryno did, and I gave it an 8. For me, I love the crushed velvet curtains that were behind Ryno. I don't know if you guys could see those, but they're gold. The lighting, I feel like, is very steampunk. I love the way that it looks like very old, like bottled glass. There are also very interesting steampunk animals located throughout the restaurant. Like I see a raccoon, some kind of a bird, and then also maybe a squirrel. So I gave it an 8. The only thing I took away 2 points for is because I have been very warm the entire time in the restaurant. That's not really what I want when I'm coming in out of the Florida heat. So that's an 8 out of 10. Food preparation and presentation, I did give a 6. I went slightly lower than Ryno. I do agree that his burger was a beautiful presentation, probably the best out of all of ours. But between the lop of gravy on Chloe's quiche and a salad is a salad, you really can't make that any different. My grits, I could tell had already been on the plate for a while. I feel like the little cocoa gremolata could have been maybe arranged a little more beautifully, especially for the price of the dish. So that's why I gave it a 6. Quality of taste, I said 7, only because my meal was a bust and the gravy was a bust. If those had been better, I believe that I would have given it a higher rating. Service, I believe, is a 9 out of 10. I did deduct 1 point only because she did not ask if there were any food allergies, and I feel like that is very important, especially if you do have food allergies. I don't think it is your job to say, hey, by the way, I have an allergy. I believe they should ask to ensure the safety of the guest. And then cost, I gave it a 5. I don't feel like lunch should cost as much as ours did. And if you're gonna put a lunch menu with over $30 items on it, they better be worth the 30-something dollars. So, character interaction, 10 out of 10. I loved it. Since it was my first time, they kind of questioned me about where I was from and some other parts of our whole experience, but they were fun, they were entertaining, they were very nice. We were all 3 laughing the entire time. So that means that's a 45 out of 60, which is a 7.5 out of 10, which, if you've ever seen Star Search, is 3.25 stars out of 5.
Would you come here again?
I would. Because obviously dessert, I would come here just to eat dessert. You know, show up, get your dessert. Oh man, so good. I think my kids would really enjoy this, so maybe bring the family.
First and foremost, the ambiance, I'm going to rate an 8 out of 10. I like a lot of the elements in here. Behind Ryno, if you can see it in any of his shots, there's this really cool crushed velvet backdrop with some Harry Potter-esque looking lights and very industrial looking. Feels like we're in a chocolate factory. But then there's other areas where I feel like the theming is kind of not apparent and just feels like we're in a 2-story building. I don't know, just does not the greatest theme. The windows are cool. I do wish they were like an actual, practical effect or maybe an updated video now that this place has been open for a couple of years, and I'd love to see some more incorporated into it. It can seem a little repetitive, but anyway, I rated an 8 out of 10. Just a couple points off for that. Overall, it's a cute little theme. The character interaction, though, 10 out of 10. We had a great character experience today. I wasn't even expecting to see them. I thought they only came out for dinner time, so that was a nice surprise. They were just so friendly, and we could hear what they were saying. Jacques and Penelope Toothsome herself, royalty. So that was really fun. Food preparation presentation, I would rate a 6 out of 10. I knocked it quite a bit off because of the gravy on my quiche. I wasn't expecting that, and it was not very appetizing. Didn't taste great either. Same with Julie's presentation. I wasn't a fan of the grits and the carrots and the beef. And then Ryno got a burger. It's kind of hard to go wrong with, a burger. The eggs looked nice, kind of sticking out the bun on the top, and fries in the basket. The dessert was presented really nicely. All those peanut buttery goodness was great. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Quality of taste, overall, I'm going to say 7 out of 10. Just like we talked about before, there were some hits and misses, but overall, some pretty good dishes, and we want to come back and try more. So the service, I'm going to rate a 9 out of 10. She was super friendly. Everybody here has been great. Cost, I'm going to say a 6 out of 10. Just because it's theme park food, and averaging $50 a head for lunch, it's pretty expensive. And we're not even in the theme park technically, we're in CityWalk, but make sure you use your pass holder discount if you have that. something off. That brings my total to a 46 out of 60 points, which is an average of 3.8 out of 5 if I did the math right. And I feel like that's pretty accurate for how I feel. I've been to Toothsome a couple of times over the last few years, and I will definitely come back again. I feel like this is kind of like the Cheesecake Factory of CityWalk. The menu is just expansive. There's so many desserts to try. It's hard to pick just one. Like, you almost want to just all order something and try each other's food. I like it enough here, and I'll come back for sure.
I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Universal Show. Thank you, everybody who listened or watched. If you are watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave us some comments about restaurants that you'd like to see us go visit next, go dine at. I was going through the list on YouTube, and there's quite a few that I thought we had recently done that it's been at least 5 years. So suggestions, always open to those. Thank you, Julie, for joining us here today. It was a delight to have you. Chloe, you're here. I'm just kidding. We love that Chloe's here too. She was really into it. I think she had a great time. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody out there, for watching and listening. If you are listening to this, please feel free to rate and review podcasts wherever you do that. And don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel when booking your next Universal vacation. And a big shout out again to our Patreon supporters. You keep the lights on. We couldn't do it without you. So that is going to do it for this episode of the Universal Show. I've got nothing else to say except for be excellent to each other.